Hey everyone, we now know all 18 teams heading to Lima, Peru. From Western Europe, we have Team Liquid, Gaiman Gladiators, Tundra Esports, and Entity. From Eastern Europe, we have Bet Boom, Team Spirit, and Hellraisers. In China, where they just wrapped up will be PSG LGD, Team Aster, Knights, and eHome. In Southeast Asia, it will be Execration, Geek Slate, and Talent Esports. TSM and Shopify Rebellion will represent North America. East Coast, along with Evil Geniuses, would be the home teams representing South America. In Eastern Europe, Natus Vincere just announced that they have dropped their roster after a disappointing first tour and getting demoted into Division 2. In the press release, NAVI said, after a losing performance in the first round of the DPC EEU 2023 and being relegated to the second division, NAVI Esports Club will drastically change its Dota 2 roster. NAVI drops Alik Vitun Vorobe, Vladislav Lasey-Las, and Nikita Nikikul Ostakov. They keep Armin Malady Arazbayev and Georgi Sweden Strong Zainabidov on the roster. Once NAVI announces the new roster, you can be sure to find out here. Alright, on to the DPC and the tiebreakers. But first, in China, PSG LGD made a surprising run on the last week and won the tiebreaker match against Team Aster to claim the top spot in the season. The other matchup came between eHome against Extreme Gaming, where eHome had to win to qualify to the Major, and they did just that. With the end to Division 1, Division 2 for China also kicked off. Division 2 will also be a 3-week madness before the Major. Our highlight comes between PSG LGD against Team Aster. The winner takes the top spot.
To reduce his multi-shot damage.
Astro Step, the Remnant. They got XXS. They still have the Silence, though, going with the Blink Dagger. There's the Bash. The Unleash is going to be used by this Marcy. So XXS doesn't have buyback. Aether Remnant lands out of the Disruptor. They go to the Exorcism. Look at the damage with the multi-shot. They get the kill there on a Picky. They're going to hold towards the rest. They'll use the Infest as well as the Disruption. They're trying to defend. They're trying to hold on, but I don't know how much it's going to work for them as Death Prophet's going to fall as well. XWI dies, and they'll call GG LGD. It doesn't take them 3 games this time. It's a 2-0, and they are still the kings of the region.
In Southeast Asia, it was a heartbreak for Blacklist International. They had 2 opportunities to qualify to the Major and they lost both series. The first one was a nail-biter against Geek Slate, where 2 of the 3 games went past 70 minutes, and the series against Talent, Blacklist was just broken. They lost 2 straight to Talent. In Division 2, Army Geniuses and Police Esports are off to a good start, but it's still too early to call it. Our highlight this week comes between Talent defeating Blacklist.
It really has. I mean, 23K, it's such an impressive lead. 23 is just on the high ground. Doesn't even have Lincoln's queued up. He's not scared of anything.
Yeah, there's as much lead as number in his name. Now it's 24K.
Yeah.
Has to change his name.
Needs to change his name to 24 Savage.
Oh, Mikado. He canceled that. Hookshot did not stop that initiation whatsoever.
And Raven.
Dead.
He's dead, doesn't have buy.
Carl at least now has the massive Dissimulate, so he has a lot more mobility here, but Lina is unfazed. Bosco can't even get the stun off because he's on cooldown.
That's 3 dead.
That is 3 dead.
Talent.
GG is called.
They're going to the Major.
They're going to the Major.
In Eastern Europe, it was all settled last week for Division 1, but in Division 2, Hydra is aiming to make a return to Division 1. They're off to a 2-0 start. In Western Europe, it was looking like a never-ending tiebreaker. But on round 3, Tundra locked it down and defeated OG, then Entity, then followed by Entity defeating OG. In Division 2, D2 Hustler and Oridu Thunders are off to a strong start. Alliance, on the other hand, are struggling. Our highlight this week comes between Tundra against Entity, followed by Entity defeating OG.
Watson, run away. Oh, they know where they're going. Watson, no.
Farewell.
Oh, he's in trouble. Don't buy it now. That's not the way to go. Oh, jeez.
Snaking was just blinking to make illusions of the illusions, and he's like, oh, surprise!
But the roll back and forth, they got to find something. But with no buyback on this Terrorblade for 2 minutes, it is looking like an impossibility. 9 gets controlled for a moment by Stormstormer, but there is no follow-up at all. Fishman going to get burnt and bolted down to death. A toss back onto Katomi, gets the overgrowth. The buyback is there from the Rubik, still 2 minutes before that Terrorblade can come back in and rejoin, and GG is going to be called. There will be an end to the tiebreakers.
One way or another, Stormstormer's right did proceed to say the prophecy.
That's right.
Tiebreak breaker. Tundra, their draft feels like it covered this perfectly. Ideal counter picks versus the cores.
They can't really kill the cores. There's 2 deaths on cores combined in this game.
And Toby yet to die. He's enjoying life at 8-0 and 14. Rolling Thunder trying to buy some time. TB up in 15 seconds.
Rolling Thunder is starting to do some damage. They've got the Dream Coil down on the 2. They'll have the radial deafening blast coming out from Stormer. But Tiny still surviving. The throne getting low. Nobody here to stop this one. They still don't have the Terrorblade. They get the buyback and the kill on a BCM. So no more puck. As they'll focus their attention onto the throne. They finally have the TB back, but it's not looking like it's going to matter. And Entity will knock OG out of the tiebreaker and qualify for the major.
Entity, the fourth team from Western Europe to go to a major. OG will need to sit this.
In North America's Division 2, Team Dogchamp is aiming a return into Division 1 once more. They are off to a strong 2-0 start. In South America, after all the tiebreakers are played, here are the final standings for Division 1. East Coast and EG round up the top 2. Alliance Latam, Keystar, Thunder Awaken, Infinity, Ravens, and Infamous are as follows. In Division 2, we already have 2 teams that are 2-0 and 1 team that is 0-3. Hopefully every team gets a win this season. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.